the actual money that is donated towards, I believe it's the last time I checked it was 50 cents. I think it's down to a nickel now. But the Girl Scouts go around and they, have the Girl Scout sales. Everybody loves Girl Scout cookies. And it helps out for a good cause. But does it? We had a thing out here where the Boy Scouts raised money to go to I think they had this big thing in China or Japan or something that they went to. I didn't really follow the story that much out here. But people are giving them thousands of dollars for what? So a group of boys could go to China? Well, I'd like to take my family to Disney World. So why don't we have a organization, a little fundraiser that does that? And the problem is, and this is getting way out of hand, is that the laws haven't caught up to the internet form of donations.
Right.
They have GoFundMe accounts where people can just open up an account. And they say on there, need money for Operation for Child or whatever. Well, people don't realize that, the states have insurance to where there's Medicaid that covers surgeries and things for children. There's the Children's Hospital. There's a Ronald McDonald Fund. There are organizations out there that cover that, but they don't think about that. So here these people have these GoFundMe accounts, and they're getting $50,000, $60,000 to $100,000 on them.
Yeah, I know.
And it's legal.
Yeah, I know.
It's absolutely legal. Now, where I've been griping about it is the fact that there's a couple of things in here that we take under play. For one is, are they really going to use that money for that?
Right.
There's no oversight. Because they're not considered an organization. It's kind of like if you go in and have your hair cut, and that person is not a licensed cosmetologist, you cannot file a complaint against that person because they don't have a license. So you have to have a license in order for the person to file a complaint against the license. It's dumb law. It really is. But where the internet has not caught up to this is a person gets $60,000 donated to them or $100,000. I've seen so much people giving to $500,000. It's $500,000.
Right.
This is tax-free.
Right.
Where is the IRS stepping in and saying, you just made $500,000, are you going to pay tax on it? I looked into that today. I could not see any oversight, and then when you try to call the IRS, you're on hold for 3 or 4 hours, and it gets people frustrated and flustered to where they just say, forget it. It isn't worth the complaint.
Right.
Because people aren't going to complain unless it's in this day and age convenient for them. So nobody knows about it. And that's the problem with society today, that the internet hasn't caught up with society in general.
Right.
But when you run a nonprofit and you say, well, we're going to raise money for Billy Joe or whatever for their surgery, that money actually has to be oversighted now because it is done by an organization. Now let's talk about levels of organizations. There's 3 different kinds. There's one where you can be a nonprofit organization and still pay state, local, and federal taxes.
Right.
Or you can be a nonprofit organization as a 501c3 that exempts you from federal tax, but you still have to pay state tax.
Right.
If you want to fill out all the paperwork to go through the state and say, hey, we're gonna go ahead and we want to get a write-off on our taxes, then you have to go through a lot more hoops. And then the third one would be the personal party, where a person can be their own campaign manager. They are not a nonprofit. If they act like a nonprofit, then they can be held to, there are certain laws that protect against the person acting this manner. They can't act as a nonprofit, but they can act as themselves. So, in other words, Mark, as yourself, you could put a little donation cup or a little jar or whatever inside the 7-Eleven store or your favorite little mart store, and you could say, raising money to get drunk. I'm an alcoholic. And people throw that money in there, and there's no law that says that you can't do that.
Right.
Now, certain cities have door-to-door policies, like panhandling, or just basically when you go door-to-door sales, they call it panhandling or something of that nature. But the individual store, if they want to allow you to put that thing in there, people are stupid enough to throw money in it, then there's nothing that can be done about it. And this is where I think that there needs to be some oversight. Anytime money is raised for a person, I think it needs to go through a nonprofit organization and also a payee, so that when that money is raised, it's gone through. That would be, for example, instead of you raising money for yourself, our organization would raise money for you. But that means you can't go out and do it. That we have to do it.
Right.
You can help us, but it has to be us doing it for you. And the oversight would be is that, okay, well, we were just raised for the sake of an argument. We just raised $50,000 for Mark, okay, for his fundraising so he can buy whatever. It doesn't really matter what the circumstances are. Then it should go to a payee. And that payee would take that $50,000 and make sure that Mark needed surgery. So that went towards the surgery.
Right.
Went for expenses. Now, there's a particular thing going on here in Huron, in our area, that I don't really particularly like. I'm not going to mention any names. I know the people. But it started off that, hey, I need some money so that I can go get surgery in New York. Okay?